Just curious, have the majority of the owners or, and Ronnie and Matt, your owners, and Bjorn, have they taken advantage of PPP or also the employee retention credit that's out there?
We have, I mean, we have, but one thing to Chris's point and Biran's point is what made us weather through that downturn is that we have two fascinating and very business smart founders and partners that built a portfolio over a period of 40 years and have always been, stress testing their portfolio by leveraging properly and waiting for that black swan. So our portfolio was under leveraged, right? And the 50%, which is unheard of, which allowed us to navigate through the downturn. You add on that the component of subsidies from the government, and we were able to, not without bleeding, but we were able to navigate through the downturn so far. But I can only imagine folks that took over and above that 50% and another 20% mezz where they are right now, because probably right now most hotels in urban locations, the value is in the mezz, if not in the senior.
Maybe, Ronnie, maybe we'll jump to that. How do we value hotels in this environment? Are you predicting, I know a lot of people threw out, 2019 will be, those numbers will be back in 2023. And how are we, it's again, unprecedented, there's no visibility. How are you all going about valuing assets? How are your owners, how are you assisting your owners in that? And anybody can jump in on that.
Ronnie, go ahead. I'll go after you, Ronnie.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Well, look, I mean, it's a very, very important question, and I don't think there is a straightforward answer. There's a lot of assumptions out there, and in order for valuation to make sense, you need to have a willing seller and a willing buyer. And right now, the spread is really big between ask and bid, and here's why. So one assumption is, when will the 2019 numbers come back? Is it 2023, 2024, 2025? Then B, you have to assess how much carry or negative cash flow you will have till then, which is very, very dependent on the vaccine creation, administration, and the pickup in traveler confidence. All of these, you can add 6 months to each, right? So that takes us automatically to 2022. Then you need to factor in order to invest in something like this, would you value it at a cap rate of 2019, or would you want a premium on that cap rate to justify the risk of investing during a pandemic, right? So if hotels were valued at a 7% cap in 2019, it's safe to assume that you would want 1 or 2 percentage point more when you're valuing hotels on the 2019 cash flow. You add to that, does the hotel or the portfolio need CapEx? Is there union there? Is there an opportunity to save money by renegotiating contract with union, with the operator, with the tax assessment next year is a big question mark. So all of these are basically creating a gray area and probably a room for negotiation. But because of regulatory framework that has given so much leeway for banks to give forbearance, we haven't really seen a gun to the head of the owners to sell. And we haven't seen transactions to really refer to as precedent and say, well, this is how valuations are made.